Hey there, button mashers. Zeck here with Press Start. Welcome to the first official episode of Option Menu. This is a show that's going to bring you awesome alternative options to mainstream gaming, which is a great thing. Just these games are indie games. They're in the crowdfunding option, and I'm bringing them to you so that you can see these awesome options that are available for you. That's kind of where the whole option menu comes into play. It's a play on words from my whole pause menu system and everything like that. So again, welcome to the first official episode of the show. Pretty much what I'm going to do for you guys is bring you 3 indie games that are in their crowdfunding stage, either through Kickstarter, Indiegogo are 2 major ones. If I find any others, I'll bring those as well. There's no real specific detail on that I need to go only Kickstarter, only Indiegogo. But pretty much if I find a game that I think has a lot of potential, has a good backing behind it, and a nice idea, I'll bring them to you guys. You guys can check them out, decide whether or not you want to back them, or if you're like me and just don't have the money to back all those games that you want, there's still an option for you to actually support these guys. Just share the video. What I'm trying to do is that way I have a way of helping these games as well, since I don't have money either, is since I'm a YouTuber and since I'm a starting channel, what I want to do is any video that earns over $6 in ad revenue, I will cut that in half and share it with the games that are featured in the show. So if you haven't checked out the pilot episode yet, please go do so. I'll have a link right over here in the corner for you, so you can go ahead and click on that and head over to that and watch it quick. Just watching it helps them out, and of course, hey, you might find a game on there that you think is pretty cool. So how we're going to start each of these episodes is just kind of touch base quick on the big games from last week. So pretty much from last week, what we started with was Astral Terra, the 3D voxel sandbox world RPG. That one is now at 8.9 thousand out of their 52,000 requests with 291 backers. Second one on the list was Mansion Lord. This was a business sim with a mansion and murder. We'll just go with that. This one is currently at 6.8 thousand out of 28,000 requests with 369 backers. Last but not least was Catacomb Kids. This was a side view roguelike beat 'em up kind of thing, which is now at 13.4 thousand out of their 20,000 requests with 554 backers. Now, of course, you'll kind of see the names over here again. If you want to go view those, if you actually haven't seen the last episode, click on their box. It'll bring you straight to that game's spiel. And if you want to watch the whole episode while you're there, you can. Otherwise, let's go on to the next set of games. Now, just like last time, if you want to go straight to that game because you're showing this game to your friend, or you want to look at a specific one because you've heard about it and you found our video somehow, you can, of course, click on the game to go straight to that spiel about it. It helps, of course, if you want to watch the whole videos, though, because you never know. You might find a game that you didn't know existed, or is trying to exist. So today's games, we got Modus, Treasure Bear, Imaginations, and we're also going to add in a bonus beta game. Now, this is the name I'm just calling them because it's kind of like a bonus level thing. It's any game that you can download a demo of that's either beta, alpha, or early release. Most of the time, they're going to be usually free, but if there's a really good early access paid one that's good out there, I'll mention that one as well. Just that way there's something you can actually play today. So guys, game 1 is Modus by Imagiro Studios. I hope I said that right. Pretty much the idea behind this one is it's a turn-based artillery shooter game. Kind of think Worms, but not as cartoony, kitschy kind of craziness. This is more straight down, level down, skills, and everything like that. This game is looking to make kind of a dark, dreary kind of aspect to that kind of gameplay. Now, originally they were slated to bring this out as a campaign-style game with ideas to go to PvP and co-op kind of stuff, but now they're going to switch it up a little bit to get people behind the game, and they're going to start off getting the game out right away with a free-to-play PvP arena game. So you're going to play with each other, shoot each other, and it's free to get by that time, and eventually they will then bring out the campaign later on. Kind of what this game is going on, and the story behind it is that the world is dead by a meteorite hitting it and starting to kind of just destroy the world, make things uninhabitable. Where humans seem like they can't even stay out in the environment without being in some sort of protective suit or something. Pretty much what happens is you are a Modus driver named Savat. And the story was you were going to go find other Moduses and fight the what are called Xers that now roam the planet. They're just mutated creatures now, mutated beings, and you're going out to fight them to eventually go to the meteorite that caused this whole problem and end it. So pretty much the gameplay aspect is that, it's kind of reminiscent of Worms and games like that, but this was more based on skill and making sure you have the right spot on land. It's very terrain-based, so jumping around, moving around is very important. The other aspect that they have in this that I really find fascinating is when your turn is up, do not look away from the game. In a lot of these games, when your turn is up, you just sit there and wait, and whatever happens, happens. You are not in control. From this game, they wanted to make sure that your Modus is technically weak. It's very weak and vulnerable, like most things are. It's good heavy shot and it's going to blow up. So what they've initiated in this one is a shield reaction system. When you're getting shot at, if you hit the button at the right time, you'll activate a shield that completely negates damage. So while you're being attacked, it's up to you to keep alert, keep active, and defend yourself. They've got a lot of potential. The game looks beautiful. They have several different enemies already, and this is just to get you guys going with a full game. So, what are their stats? They're right now at $800 out of their $30,000 request. They have 28 backers and still have 16 days to go. So it's been kind of a slow start, but these artillery games, you gotta find those people. So hopefully a couple of you guys like these artillery games. I know these games are popular. Worms is incredibly popular, as well as others I've seen, and this one seems to have a lot of potential. Check them out, and hopefully if you like it, you'll back them up. If not, pass it around. So that's Modus for you guys. Let's move on to the next one. So game 2 is an interesting one. This is called Treasure Bear by Bear and Boar. So, this is called, they're calling it an exploration platformer with lots of fun features that is sure to put hair in your chest, as they call it, as they say. So pretty much, how to explain this? You're a hungry bear who loves to eat, and there's also a treasure chest that loves money. But of course, as a bear, you have to usually either steal it or find the food. The treasure chest convinces the bear that, hey, if you help me get money, you could buy food. So of course, they get together, the treasure chest straps onto the bear's back, and they decide to go on an adventure. What? It's a very interesting concept where it's a complete exploratory platformer where you're just jumping around. The treasure chest is actually alive, so it actually has a hand inside of it that can actually be used almost like a grapple from like a Bionic Commander. So you're grappling on things, you're jumping around, it's part of your weaponry, and you're doing everything. Levels consist of everything from finding hidden treasure to stealing treasure from mansions and museums and stuff, getting coins from enemies and battling stuff. They have a naval levels and stuff like that where you actually have a boat that you can upgrade with your money. You can buy costumes and stuff with your money and things like that. It has a lot of cool features for a platformer. It looks a lot of fun. It's very well designed. I like the art style. It looks very cute and kind of fun, but at the same time a good, difficult game. That could be a lot of fun. Actually, the pictures right now that I'm putting up are exclusive. They haven't put these up yet. These are kind of images of the idea behind the naval battle, and it looks very promising. And I see a lot of things that hint back towards original platformers. There's a minecart level that reminds me of like Diddy Kong. A great old school platformer. So this game has a lot of potential. I like the idea. It made me laugh watching the video. So it seems really cool. I like the idea behind it. So what their stats are right now is 8.9 thousand out of their $7,000 request. They have 191 backers. Still 37 days to go. They're still well early into their Kickstarter campaign, so they got a lot of time to go and a lot of time to make up that money for the 70,000. The game it looks fun. It definitely looks like a blast to play. And if it becomes anything like it looks. So again, check it out. If you like it, back them up. If you can't or whatever, just pass the video along. Hopefully somebody can. And like I said, if we get the $6, we'll be able to help them with a little funding ourselves. Moving on to game 3, guys. Here we go. Final game of the day, but this is a very big one. That's why I kind of wanted to save it to last to try to make sure I kind of get as much time as I can to talk about this one, because this has a lot of stuff built into it. The game is called Imaginations by Cat Banana. Yeah, the name of the company was like, wait, what? But the idea behind the game and what I've seen with the video is that they have a lot of functions that they want to put in this game, and what they're doing is they're taking a lot of different games that are really popular right now and putting it into one game. Games like Minecraft, Cube Story, I think it's called, and Skyrim, and even technically Kerbal Space Program, which are several of those indie games, but even the Skyrim one, just that whole exploratory kind of the system, first-person exploratory, questing and things like that. Pretty much what they're saying is that this game is a voxel cube-based universe. They're not even just saying world. Pretty much they chose blocks because they're very easy to adjust, to move around, to break, and build, and all that kind of stuff. They're very easy to fiddle with. So they're going with that, but the main thing is they have so many features where you get to design your character, and you start in a village as part of the villagers. You're no one special, no hero or anything like that. You're just a villager that can do whatever you want. You can help the village build it, go out and build your own home, go spelunking and find loot to sell to sucker merchants and stuff. Go find treasure, go and find other cultures, and that's another thing that can happen. There are multiple villages, and these villages aren't all the same. They're not like Minecraft certificates that will always be friendly. Each of these individual cultures are all individuals, and they all have their own culture of influence that can dictate what kind of quests you get. Or if these borders of influence actually touch each other, These villages can either enter into a peaceful state, or a defensive state, or even war, and these can give you new missions based on defending the borders, attacking the enemies, guiding caravans. All sorts of missions can come out of it, and the game continues to progress even when you're not nearby. One day you can be looking at a village that is the stone kind of generation, leave for a while and come back, and all of a sudden they're working on their space program and about to send a spaceship into space. Which is kind of crazy that they have that much built into it, that they're looking to do the several ages of Stone Age all the way up to future, which is really cool. And even their combat system, I just found out with the most recent update, is impressive as well. All weapons are lethal. There is no difference between a copper blade and an iron blade if I'm going to hurt you more. But if I stab you with that, you're going to get hurt the same way. It's all about durability and things of that nature. So they want to make sure that's the same. So technically a lot of people were concerned about when they had guns. Guns are just as lethal as a sword, wait a minute. But then if you think about it, it is. If a guy with a sword, even though you have a gun, comes up behind you and stabs you, you're dead. Just the same if I shoot you with a gun. So it's very interesting to see where they're going to go with this stuff. Honestly, there's too much for me to fit into this video. I really want them to actually come forward to me and try to do an interview so I can do a full video on this game. There's a lot of features and a lot of more things that I want to know about the game to really give you the full experience of what they want to do. They want multiplayer. They want all these features in it. So they have a very strong goal, very high goal. If they can do it the way they're calling about it, it could be a very impressive game, taking all these popular games and making a full game out of it. A game that really just dictates to doing what you want to do. So, it has potential. Their stats right now, 2.8 thousand out of their $200,000 goal. They have 113 backers with 22 days to go, more than enough time to get their goal, and they have several stretch goals as well. I would say go check them out, watch their video, to listen to it. Hey, tell them you want them to do an interview with me so I can ask more and you can ask questions. We can see what they were willing to tell me about it. So that's our three main games. Those are the featured games. If we hit the $6 marker, those are the three that will get some funding. The rest of the bonus beta game can include Kickstarter games. Most of the time what happens with these is that they have a demo and they're under the 14-day limit that I put on it. So yeah, 14 days are the minimum amount of days that I require on it, just to kind of give a limit to which games I can put out, so that way it's all based on the funding, because I want the funding from the video to go to their Kickstarter and nothing, and that way it can actually show up as you guys being the donators, the actual Press Start community being the donators to the game. So I wanted to keep them in that. So this guy, he's still in Kickstarter, he's still got a lot of potential. It's one guy making a game. The game is called Approaching Infinity by Bob Saunders. Pretty much it's a roguelike in space. So instead of delving into dungeons and stuff, you're actually out in space. You got everything from landing on planets and fighting aliens there and maintaining your oxygen and stuff, to going into space, dealing with pirates and other factions, taking on missions, mining space rocks, and a whole bunch of other stuff. A lot of other things they're trying to get into the game, including finding artifacts, raiding space bases, and all about factions and everything, really delving deeper into that. The demo is nice, it's basic, it's simple, it gets the point across of what they're trying to do, and it's fun. I can't wait for the extra features to get into it, and the extra graphics to come around. Looks like it has a lot of potential. Pretty much their stats for Kickstarter is 3.8 thousand out of their $5,000 goal. Mostly what he's doing is just trying to get a basic game out for you guys, and he's going to base it on you guys and how much you want this game. He has a lot of stretch goals that allow him to put more into the game. So he's got 189 backers already, still got 13 days to go, very easy to be able to hit his $5,000 goal, I think, and a good potential to get a good amount of his stretch goals. But yeah, head over to, I'll put a link to his Kickstarter. He has a link to his demo right there. You can go ahead and download it and play that today. So just to recap, guys, today's games were Modus, the artillery shooter. You got Treasure Bear, the exploratory platformer with money and bears. You then got Imagine Nations, which is a huge sandbox voxel game that has a lot of potential if they can do what they want to do. For the bonus game, we had Approaching Infinity. All the links to all the games are down below in the description. You can click on any of them to head over to the game, check them out, back them if you want. And again, if you can't or it's not your game, instead of just giving up on it, pass it to your friends. One of them might want this game, and just passing it around and gets them to watch. It helps these developers get closer to that $6 goal. So we need to hit to get them some funding. Until next time, guys, I'm Zeck. Press Start. Keep pressing those buttons. See ya.